What's going on, everybody? In this video, I wanted to look at Bionanogenomics stock, or Bngo. We do have a price target that was just lowered by Oppenheimer, still a $9 price target. And we're also going to look at a couple other things. We're going to look at a pattern on the chart, and boy oh boy, does Bngo love to trade its patterns. So you should watch out, because this could be a short-term negative. And then we're also going to look at an article that just came out by tipranks yesterday as of this upload. So let's get right into this. If you like these videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely helps me out. Check out the links down below for some free stocks and cryptos. Consider joining my YouTube membership. It's $2 a month. And let's look at Bngo. So first off, this tipranks article. I will leave everything I go over down below for you. And one thing that's interesting here is they do mention that Oppenheimer's Francois Brisbois, an analyst from Oppenheimer, was there. And funny enough, it says the analyst came away incrementally more positive about OGM's ability to transform cytogenetics and become the standard of care. Why did they lower their price target down to 9 from 12? I think that's simply just to play it a little safer. They want their price targets to actually hit so that they seem more accurate in their analysis. And I don't think a price target going from 12 to 9 is much of a concern. It is still definitely a positive price target, but let's continue here. Now, the analyst said the presentation was helpful to better understand Bngo's commercial opportunity, the main catalyst to keep an eye out for, the company's approach to transform medical practice, reimbursement, and others' opinion of the product. Also adding that although developing a standard of care requires substantial time and effort, we believe Bngo is well on its way with a lot of promise in the coming years. Now, the analyst highlight of the day came during the presentation, in particular a slide that showed present molecular methods' inability to capture all SVs or structural variants. Comments from users also pointed to OGM's potential to become standard of care. And the analyst thinks that the sole explanation for the US lagging Canada and Europe in its usage revolves around reimbursement, for which there is an ongoing process. Because this company is still so early, many hospitals are used to older standards of care and get reimbursement by the government in those aspects, but not from Bngo just yet. But as it mentions here, they are eyeing FDA approval, and they do want to address this reimbursement before 2025. Also, they reiterated their fiscal year 2022 outlook of 27.7 to 28 million, and also went into how they see a $10 billion total addressable market, or TAM, that includes about 10,000 labs, meaning 10 million samples per year, and about 1,400 therapeutic companies. And it says here that it's rated a buy with a $9 price target, which was lowered from 12. But still, this amount represents upside of about a 408% from where it's at now. And looking at what analysts have, these are all very low rated analysts, unfortunately. So take this with a grain of salt. Take it for what it is. But they are rating it a strong buy with 4 buy ratings, a 563 average price representing a 218% upside. I'll show you guys the chart in a second. You might be thinking there's no way it's going to go like that. There's no way it's going to go that high in a year. Let me show you something. And you don't even have to go that far back. If we go back to the May 12 low, you'll see it was down around 116. It went on an uptrend since then, all the way up to about 430, which is right around a 4x. And while we are cooling down a little bit now, you know, even where Bngo is at to 4 or 5x this, that brings it back to around 9. We did see a 4x here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4 times current price. However, it'll take some time. And one thing to look out for here on the chart, before I get back to a couple other things, is we did just break this broadening pattern. We had a falling wedge, and is typically bullish because you usually get a breakout to the upside. And sure enough, we did have that breakout to the upside. But we started this kind of broadening pattern, and it does seem like it's breaking it. So keep an eye on it. Typically, the patterns play out on Bngo. Maybe we'll get lucky this time and it won't keep breaking. But you'll see going back, even farther back, there's a lot of times that, you know, this has like a general uptrend or a general channel either going up or going down. And once it breaks it, there is typically a big move afterwards. So it seems like we have a lot of pattern traders watching this stock. So just be cautious here where it's at. See how it behaves. I would say we have this decent level of support right around 170. You can see it touches there. See, it touches there before he bounced. So you want to watch that Bngo holds 170. If it breaks it, we could be falling farther. And one thing you'll notice here as well is we do have this descending resistance. If we do start getting on an uptrend from here, we need to break roughly 450 to break out of this descending resistance. And a break of that could be a very positive thing for Bngo. Now, one possible thing that could cause a huge breakout is a good earnings. They do expect $8 million in revenue, which would be a record-breaking quarter, which we see pretty consistently with Bngo. I'll pull these up very quickly. You can pause as I go through these. But you'll see that, you know, we have pretty good growth in revenue over time. The big thing here is getting exponentially more adoption and getting to where they're actually profitable soon. But they still do have a decent cash balance to continue to burn some cash for a while. So I shouldn't have to remind you that this is relatively high risk, because as they burn more cash, they will be more likely to have to dilute or possibly acquire more debt. But where they stand right now compared to a lot of small caps, they do look a lot better than many, I'd say. Now, one last thing for earnings, we are literally 1 month away, at least from the estimate for their earnings. It's expected March 7. It could be any time around there, but just based on when their earnings typically come out, we should see an earnings coming out somewhere around the 7th of March, just about a month away. And I will leave this down below for you. I mentioned this previously before it was out, just saying to look out for this. Well, now they had their symposium, and it actually featured a record number of presentations demonstrating actual uses of OGM, or Bngo's product. Now, I will leave this down below for you, but I'll quickly summarize a couple things. OGM was highlighted by researchers as a high-performance, one-stop platform, potentially eliminating the need for multiple sequential testing. Accurate and higher resolution, experts from multiple institutions demonstrated concordance of OGM with standard of care techniques and OGM's ability to identify SVs or structural variants relevant for sample stratification and disease management. And this was on day 3. Now, they also have a cost-effective, scalable, and fast turnaround time. Researchers showed how OGM can provide labs with improved turnaround times and more cost-effective processing of specimens in a more scalable approach than standard of care workflows, meaning the typical methods. Now, also a simple and easy to implement workflow for oncology studies where karyotyping and fluorescence in situ hybridization, or FISH, are the current standard of cares. Presenters demonstrated that OGM can offer a simpler workflow than traditional techniques. Presenters noted OGM's low operational risk, minimal training barriers, and quick positive impact on their lab. This is all fantastic stuff for Bngo. The medical community seems to be raving for their product, and that's definitely a good thing. Now, also, OGM can identify clinically relevant structural variants that were missed by traditional methods. This is big. Now, commented by Eric Homlin, the CEO of Bionano, the scientific quality, global representation, and engagement of researchers at this event was impressive. And then he says, I would encourage anyone who was unable to attend live to log in, view these presentations, and see how we're working to change the way the world sees the genome through optical genome mapping. I will leave you guys a link down below to their actual presentation and this article, but there were some winners here. The grand prize winner of optical genome mapping, a potential tier 1 test for prenatal diagnostic testing, and this was with the institution of Greenwood Genetics Center. But another amazing thing about Bngo, besides the fact that I think it's going to make us a lot of money over time, is that I do think this product can change the world for the better. And if you want some absolutely heart-wrenching stories, I'll leave this site below for you. This is the Greenwood Genetics Center. This is the one that won the grand prize at Bngo Symposium. But you know, they are definitely working to change the world for the better. But being able to change families' lives and actually provide them some light in such a dark time, some of these families go through some very dark times, you know, there's nothing better than that, to give people hope and to give them an actual positive outcome in the future. I do believe some things are bigger than money. But thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you check out all the links down below and check out their symposium. But what do you think about OGM? Do you think they have a life-changing product here? I personally believe that more and more adoption will bring Bngo more recognition, more revenue, and eventually profitability, and will positively impact lives around the world. But thanks as always for watching, guys, and take it easy.